Parents strongly cautioned. The following program may contain material that some parents may not find suitable for children. The following program may contain foul language, discussion of gore, dangly parts, exploding lolitas, tentacles, and a bevy of angry co-hosts who just might tear each other's faces off. You have been warned. And welcome one and all to Equinimation here on Radio is Magic Entertainment. I am your host with the most, the man with Super Saiyan swagger, the one and only Pony Vegeta. And here joining me tonight to help me break down the 14th Dragon Ball Z movie, Battle of Gods, is my faithful round of co-hosts. First up, we have the fornication of all arachnids, Spider Sex.
Greetings, mortals.
And last but certainly not least in the lineup is he loves watching anime involving a protagonist that hits on 10-year-old girls, MangaMan.
I swear she said she was 18!
Maria did not say she was 18.
Wait. What is... Hang on a minute here.
I'm referencing his review of Umineko no Naku Koro ni. That...
Well, if you're insinuating that I was hitting on Maria, like physically beating her, then yes, I was.
Yes.
LOL.
Yes. How are you guys doing this evening?
Fantastic.
I'm very good. I'm a little bit constipated. A little bit. Well, I
TMI.
was constipated, and now it's sort of coming all in, coming
TMI.
all down. It's all
Okay,
coming
stop.
down in
Stop,
very
stop,
painful.
stop,
It's
stop.
incredibly.
So today we're reviewing Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods.
Yes, after we finished listening to Spider talk about his
Constipated.
Dangly parts.
yes, so that's right. Tonight we're reviewing the 14th movie in the Dragon Ball Z franchise, Battle of Gods. Oh boy. You know, if you can't tell by my name, I am a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I have been since I was a child. I have extensively studied the universe. I was so excited when I heard about this movie last year that I had to change my pants the moment I heard it announced. I'm like, awesome, we're finally getting into the movie. And I never had time to watch it, and so boom! Yes, we're going to review it. Yes, I can finally make time to watch this movie! And okay.
And
Let's go ahead and let's get this started before I start doing things. So, yes. Our movie begins with its very first plot hole. I say plot hole, but more like continuity issue of the movie. When it opens up on Northern Kai's planet, where Goku is trading off in the background of the thing, and Northern Kai is talking with the Supreme Kai and the Elder Kai, and they're like, dude, Lord Bills woke up. This isn't good. Oh no. Don't tell Goku, he's gonna be interested. So, yes, Roaring Thunder, yes, thank you. First plot hole is Northern Kai's planet is actually still there in this movie. Anyone remember the Cell Saga? Do you guys remember what happened in the Cell Saga of Dragon Ball Z?
I don't remember, actually.
I remember
What
that
happened?
Goku instant transmission selling himself onto Northern Kai's planet to prevent Cell from blowing up on Earth.
Wow, what an ass. I thought he just teleported himself into space.
Nope.
Nope.
He said, sorry, Kai, I couldn't think of anywhere else to go.
Therefore blowing up himself, King Kai, Bubbles,
And
Gregory,
Bubbles.
and King Kai's little planet. This planet should not be there. Well, Roaring Thunder, maybe the Dragon Balls were used to bring it all back. This was never seen in show, was never done in the manga, so we just have our first continuity issue right off the bat. Anyway, flowing along.
Judging,
yes,
if I were to interrupt it a minute, judging from a lot of the things, like a lot of the clues that this movie gives away, it seems like this movie supposedly takes place sometime right after the Boo saga, but not the very end of the Dragon Ball Z series.
yes, it takes place within the 10-year gap between the last two episodes.
Hey, yeah, what happened to, like, what's his face? Oob.
He did not exist yet. He didn't come in until the very last episode, until at the end of the 10-year gap between the last two episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's not around just yet. Anyway, now we get, a short little, 5-second snippet of a remake of the original Dragon Ball Z intro, Chala Head Chala. 5 seconds. Thank you for, thank you for that little snippet. And again, now we're already going into more continuity issues. This time the movie dealing just within the movie itself. They said Lord Bills, this god of destruction, was already awake. Now we see him waking up.
Well,
He's not a morning person.
He's really not
Yeah.
a morning person. Would you have to have bombs to wake? I thought that was I did think that was kind of amusing. Alarm bombs. I wish I could have alarm bombs.
Then you'd be dead.
Yeah, but hey, when you're a god, I guess you can have things like that.
True.
You can have nice things like that, but yes. So we get introduced to Lord Bills, who is very, very unassuming in appearance at first, and I see what they were going for, but he's supposed to be this ultimate god of destruction, but he has this very unassuming, very weak look. But my problem here was they've already done this before. Twice, actually. First with Frieza, but it didn't last very long because you already knew this guy was insanely strong compared to everyone else. But the main way they did this was with the first form of Majin Buu.
Yeah.
He just looked very unassuming, very childish, and there's a lot of... I'm going to make a lot of comparison points between these two because their personalities are very, very similar. It's just...
Between Majin Buu and Bill?
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about it, they're...
Not really. I mean,
Bill's-
their background, maybe?
Sorta. Like,
Bill's,
they're both very
childish. In
Yeah,
how
very
they
but
conduct
in-
themselves.
But in different levels. Like, Bill is more like of a 10 or 12-year-old, whereas Boo is more like a 5 or 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even that. He's almost an infant, basically.
Yeah,
Yes.
a toddler.
But before I go on, I know, Spider, I talked to you beforehand, before we went on air, a couple of hours ago when you had just finished the movie. This was your first time watching this in Japanese, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is my first interaction with anything Dragon Ball Z related in Japanese, and it was really jarring for me because, Goku kind of sounds like an old woman, and like we said back in the Ashura review, he's voiced by a female, and I just couldn't get over that. It felt very
It is
weird.
hard to get over, yeah.
And again, the reason they did that is because the woman who voices Goku, Masako Nozawa, has been voicing the character since Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that they stuck with the same voice actor, and despite how you may feel about them, I mean, it's common practice for an adult woman to voice a male child. It's common practice. It's nothing new, but so I can see why they stuck with her. And a lot of people don't like his Japanese voice, but
A lot of the American audience doesn't like
yeah, a lot of
his
the
Japanese
American
voice.
audience. But I personally, I love her. I love how she does the voice. I give her, as I said during when we reviewed Asura, because the main character in that and Goku have the same voice actress. I give her props because a lot of people don't realize just how old this woman is.
How old exactly is she?
Now, as of right now, she is 77 years old.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Doing these Super Saiyan level screams. And I would like to point out, they are redoing the Buu Saga for Dragon Ball Z Kai. She's about to redo the Super Saiyan 3 scream, that 6-minute long scream.
Wait, all in one take?
They kind of do. The entire scream is done in one take, maybe multiple takes.
Though Kai has been good with editing down like the long like dragging sagas. Like they did a fantastic job with the Frieza saga. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed how they made it so that he wasn't charging the spirit bomb for 5 or 6 episodes.
Spirit bomb.
There, Goku, I think it's big enough. No, it's gotta be bigger.
Right. Okay. I threw that I wanted to get that out of the way because, it's interesting to listen to people talk about it whenever they've never heard the voices before, but I threw this completely off topic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the woman, as another tidbit effect, if I'm remembering this correctly, the woman who plays Granny in Looney Tunes, the same woman.
Wait. What?
Yep.
What?
Well,
Wait,
after
who?
Mel Blanc passed away, because he did the original Granny voice, and then a new Granny kind of took up the reins, I think sometime around the 80s, early 90s, sometime around there. I would have to look it up myself. But, yeah. She's been doing it ever since.
Really? It's the exact same woman?
After Mel Blanc.
Who?
Yeah.
After Mel Blanc, yeah. Wow.
Well,
I did not even know that.
That's impressive.
Wow. And again, yeah, Roaring Thunder, Sean Schemmel, I don't hate his voice acting. He does a fantastic job as Goku.
I love Sean Schemmel.
He does a great job. It's just that, again, from me watching the Japanese version for so long, I do happen to have a soft spot for the Japanese dub. So, yeah, anyway, let me try and steer this back on track.
Sorry.
At this point, we do get introduced to Bills, the god of destruction, and from what we see, his sidekick, his kind of like caretaker, Whis, who is not
Whis.
Yeah, seems to be like kind of like Whis.
Cool.
Has that weird pronunciation to it, but
Whis.
Emphasize
Whis.
the H over the W.
W. Flam. H.
Yes, so he's kind of like from what we can tell, he's kind of like Bill's caretaker, and they make references saying Whis is all like, so why did you choose to wake up 39 years after only 39 years? So apparently Bill sleeps for a really freaking long time.
Well, he is kind of. He reminds me like a combination of those Egyptian naked cats and Anubis.
Yeah.
That's definitely what they were going for, because Anubis's thing, a big part of it was that it was big on sort of destruction before creation, and they kind of like cats. It really liked cats.
True, but Anubis is a jackal.
I know, but he really liked cats, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be very wrong, because, like, it's been a while since I've studied Egyptology, and they have a lot, and Egypt is really old, but last time I checked, I think he liked cats.
Well,
I'm
who
pretty
doesn't like cats?
People who are
My
allergic.
mom doesn't.
Well, yeah, my mom's afraid
Like
of cats.
Sage.
Huh?
Sage is allergic to cats. She's like deathly allergic to cats.
Yes, she is. But she still loves cats. She just can't go anywhere near them.
What about hairless cats?
She thinks they're ugly and doesn't like them.
Oh, come on, look at the little wrinkles.
I think they're cute in a stranger. Anyway, I actually want to get through this whole movie today, because technically it's short enough we could have actually watched it on air and commentated, but that's technically illegal for us to do, so that's why we're not doing that.
I would have liked to.
Won't tell.
I mean, it would have been interesting. Maybe we can find something like to do that with, at a later time, but for now, anyway, we're introduced to Whis and Bills. And Bills is asking about, if Frieza had ever destroyed planet Vegeta and the rest of the Saiyans, and eventually, we get to this short dialogue about that. And apparently, now, somehow, Whis is apparently able to tap into, the video cameras of the universe. I want that staff that he has.
That was a nice staff, I gotta admit.
It looks kind of cool, and it's like, oh, wait, yeah, something interesting happened while you were asleep. Boom, and suddenly we see Goku fighting Frieza. I want that staff. Boyzilla, staff of recording, plus 99. I like... Roaring Thunder, why the staff? The staff because apparently it can tap into whatever, I don't know, the essence of the universe to show any footage from anything, ever.
No, guys. You see, it's magic. Magic.
Sure. Anyway, so Bills finds out that Frieza was actually killed by a Saiyan named Goku, and becomes very interested because he says that he had a dream while he was sleeping about a Super Saiyan God.
Yes, and this is where we're starting to get into my first, I forget the continuity problems so far. This is where we're now starting to get into my personal problems with the movie itself. Because now we're already at this point you're mentioning the Super Saiyan God, which is what Bills is after, because he wants, as a god, he wants a challenge in a fight. And we're already, finding out, well, Super Saiyan God, we already know what Goku's going to do by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And to me, this doesn't build up any tension. We're not getting any suspense. There's no tension being built up, and it's just trying to put it into words here. What I'm trying to think of. It's
Fan service.
Fan service. Not entirely what I was thinking, but yeah.
Anticlimactic.
There we go. Anticlimactic. Yeah, and this was. A new Super Saiyan form is cool, I'm all for it, but I just don't like the way...
We'll get to it, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like how the way they first mention it. I mean, save this mess for later or something. But anyway, I'll get, whenever we actually get to the Super Saiyan God form, I'll give more nitpicks on that.
Well, so essentially, it's a plot thread to get Bills and Goku to fight.
Mm-hmm. Which we would have already gotten anyway, as we find out on our next scene, which is the obligatory just how strong is the enemy fight. When, Whis and Bills go to the Northern Kai's tiny little planet, and are like, hey, we know that one Saiyan is here. We want to see him. What you know about Super Saiyan God, bro? You better know about that Super Saiyan God.
Don't you go tell me there ain't no Super Saiyan God.
Exactly.
Praise his name!
Yeah, and... Yeah, of course, yes, Goku's, all excited about fighting some new super powerful opponent. And just get literally just forehead flicked while he's in Super Saiyan 3.
Oh, and you know what he does during that? He does the whole, this is Super Saiyan 1, and this is a Super Saiyan 2, and this...
Let me guess, it's a Super Saiyan 3.
Yep.
Yeah,
it
is. It was a pretty cool little bit.
And it gets flicked. The classic anime finger flick. Possibly the most deadliest of all martial arts in anime.
It's always comical whenever you see it, but it's it's the obligatory, the enemy is this much stronger than I am. The fight, that we get in a lot of the other movies and in parts of the TV series.
They did it a lot in the TV series. Didn't, Deborah do it to Trunks and, Cell do it to Krillin?
They do it in every fighting anime. You see it in Rurouni Kenshin, you see it in Fist of the North Star, you see it in almost everything.
Yeah. And, then at this point, Whis is like, hey, the rest of the Saiyans are armed, we should go ask them. And again, he beats Goku in 2 hits. Forehead flick, and then that little, light tap on the neck. Game over. And now, he's like, hey, let's go to Earth. So they go to Earth, and King Kai's like, oh crap, I better tell Vegeta. And even Vegeta gets really... Vegeta doesn't just... Even like against the most powerful of enemies, he doesn't just back down. This guy is just so insanely strong, he makes Vegeta like, oh crap.
Well, he also remembered, like, conveniently remembered that his father was pretty much under this guy's boot. And so that kind of got ingrained in him, like, oh boy, I shouldn't mess with this one.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyway... now it's Bulma's birthday party back on Earth.
Yay! She's 37.
Yay! 38. And there's a... she says she's 38 years old on this day. Either there's another continuity issue here, or she is lying through her teeth.
You know Bulma.
Because I know my timeline. This woman is older than 38.
How old would she be then?
Let's see. I don't know the exact year between the 10-year gap this takes place, but by the Buu Saga, which is before this, she's 40 years old. 41, actually. So,
Damn.
Yeah, and that takes place before this movie does, so, yeah.
That girl is lying.
Because she's 4 years older than Goku. 3 if you...
So wait. So she was 41 before the Buu Saga started, or just as...
At the end of the Buu Saga, she was 41 before, like, the 10-year gap. She was 41 years old.
Maybe this takes place right after the Buu Saga.
I mean, it would... Well, we find out Videl is already pregnant, so...
Yeah, so obviously this is before Pan comes around.
Yeah, but still, Buu is there with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought he didn't become good until a little while after.
He was already good. It's just that
Mr. Satan became friends with him before the evil Buu got sucked out of him, and then evil Buu ate good Buu. And yes, Satan is your friend.
Wait, who?
Well, he's called Mr. Satan in the Japanese, but we know him as Hercule.
Yeah, that took me a second. Again, very, very jarring for me.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's just another one of those things. I have a lot of nitpicks about this movie because there's just like so many little things wrong with this movie.
Yeah.
And then, of course, in this particular scene, as we're going into the birthday party itself...
Comedy and hijinks!
Yuck.
And as we're, like, zooming through the different parts of Capsule Corporation, we see a lot of CGI here. And not good CGI. I mean, maybe it was just because the version I had access to wasn't that high of quality, but it didn't look that great. It was kind of...
it looked pretty bad.
And it really shows up later, just during the fight between Goku and Bills, but again, that's later on down the road. I don't want to spend too much time talking about one scene like we do with the fish when we in the Macross review.
Oh god, I miss Rin.
Yes. Anyway.
Oh, I do miss Rin too.
Maybe
Rin,
one day.
Come back.
That's why I'm not looking for more people to take up the last spot because I'm hoping one day he can come back. But anyway.
Yes. As the prophecy foretold, a god would appear. His name would be Rin.
Yes. So anyway, we have comedy and hijinks, and one little
and then
thing
all of a sudden we see Emperor Pilaf and his goons.
Yes, and this was a nice little touch because Toriyama was directly involved with this movie. I don't think he wrote the whole thing, but I know he was directly involved. And I believe, we see Emperor Pilaf, Mai, and Shu, however you pronounce his name, because it's pronounced like 5 different ways. And they're children. And supposedly, they'd gotten hold of the Dragon Balls years earlier, and accidentally turned themselves into kids by wishing for youth. And this is supposedly...
I'm gonna be right back, nature's calling.
Refuel your Valkyrie. Supposedly, this is a shot at Dragon Ball GT for doing what they did to Goku at the beginning of that. So
maybe, but then it kind of raises some questions as to GT's validity as to when we see Emperor Pilaf and the other two, again, they're like dead, pretty much on their deathbeds.
Well, I know, oh my gosh! Holy crap! In the
What?
live stream chat, I see Rin. He is there! Well, okay, actually,
Rin!
he's technically not here. He's technically not there.
You can't lie. I see you. The prophecy has been fulfilled.
Yes. So, again, well, GT's not canon. GT is not canon, so...
I know, but...
Neither is this movie, though a lot of people claim it to be because it does have an official point in the timeline that it could take place. But then again, so did GT.
I watched all the way through GT, and I didn't hate it as much as everybody else did.
I have my problems with it. GT is an entirely new, another ground subject. I'll just say that it had a lot of potential that it put to waste. But anyway,
Yes.
So
Anyways, Emperor Pilaf and his goons are trying to, once again, get their hands on the Dragon Ball. When young Trunks comes in and kind of makes this kind of little joke to Goten that he said, like, oh yeah, she's my girlfriend.
which
Like, bitch.
yeah, it didn't really jeez. How big is the inside of Capsule Corporation? My lord. They have an entire castle, a plane. Yes, Boyzilla, again, that's another one of my nitpicks. This movie is 4 or 5 years after the Buu saga. Trunks and Goten should be older than what they are. But it's not. There's just so much wrong. So many little things wrong with this movie.
Maybe Saiyans grow slower.
So anyway, yes, we have this short little. It's supposed to be a comedic plot point where Trunks is bragging to Goten, and he's all like, "Yeah, that girl, she's my girlfriend. We've held hands."
Ooh.
And why is that such a big thing in this deal in this movie? Anyway, we do, eventually. Or have you come back now, Spider?
Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry. What's up?
We were talking about more inconsistency in the story, and
Wait, 18's hair was purple at one point? I'm seeing
What?
Boyzilla says at least he reminded 18's hair isn't purple. So was it purple at one point?
no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I think.
I don't know what you're talking about, Boyzilla.
I think he's talking about something that Akira Toriyama had done at one point. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of... Anyway, skipping over this little segment because it really doesn't do anything for the story, except for whenever they fail at getting the Dragon Balls and attempt to take Trunks hostage. And then suddenly Gohan had been drinking for a little while. He'd been drinking a little sake and decided it was time to pull out the Great Saiyan Man and hump the air for a little while.
Saiyan
kids, want to see me catch these bullets?
I do need to get that as a GIF, and get that as a GIF, and then play that during music with the party hard on the art when he's humping the air for that 2-second clip.
Yes.
I need to pull out my party hard GIF for the tonight's music break whenever I go into it. I'm gonna get that ready. Anyway, so everyone's thinking it's a joke because 90% of these people here can take bullets to the face and just stand there and laugh about it. These guys
except for some of the human people like Videl and Hercule.
Yeah, Videl, Hercule, Bulma. But most of these people are like, whatever. So, bullets bounce around everywhere because they shoot Gohan, and they're like, Videl takes a bullet to the leg, and then Dende's like, I'll heal you! I'm useful in this movie!
Hey.
Yes!
Videl used to be an interesting and useful character in the series. Then she took a bullet to the knee.
Ha! then we find out that Videl is actually pregnant.
Dun dun dun! Gohan knows how to use a penis.
Gohan used penis. It was super effective.
Da, 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 da. Yes, Pan. And screw you guys, I like Pan.
Wait, is it Pan though?
Yeah, it is Pan.
Yeah, they've.
Yeah, Pan.
Yeah. She was at the very. She was in the very last episode.
Oh.
Yeah,
of
technically
Z.
she is canon.
So yeah, technically she is.
It
So
seems legit.
anyway, crap, I can't.
Hello, cursor.
Let's see. Anyway, okay, GIF isn't gonna work, so I'm just gonna forget about it for now. Yeah. So we found out
One of the
Videl-
stray bullets, moving right along, one of the stray bullets actually hits Bills while he was there, kind of like, you know, having a good time with everybody else and trying all the new and interesting foods. And like this gets Vegeta like, oh man, I gotta do something. I gotta get everything happy.
God.
And then
The bingo song.
the bingo.
the bingo song, bingo dance,
Enjoyable bingo.
bingo.
If the song went well, had rhythm in English, I would totally do that right now. But it has no rhythm when sung in English. And I don't know it well enough in Japanese to pull it off. Otherwise, I would totally do that for you guys right now. But the bingo dance was... It was... and apparently it
Dance,
was...
man, dance for your life, dance for the earth.
It was so incredibly creepy that Bills decided to not blow up the planet. That... Because he was going to blow up the planet for, you know, that bullet making his forehead itch. Because it was an uncomfortable feeling.
What a dick.
I love this. I love that part about this movie. That Bills is not like, you know, a mass psycho murderer or an evil tyrant or anything. He is basically a god, benevolent or otherwise.
Yeah,
He just doesn't care.
And, you know, some people I've talked to do have issue with his character, but again, I actually do kind of like Bills' character. I mean, when you're a god that, you know, sleeps for 100 or so years at a time and just wake up and like, oh, I mean, whatever. I mean, you can be whatever you want. So, again, moving along, Vegeta saves the world by throwing away his pride and doing the bingo dance.
Take one for the team, man.
I will do the dance of my people.
Wait, we just might have, okay, I think we might have a link.
Do it.
We might have a link. I'll load it up for something. Anyway, I'll load it up and probably do it during the break.
Yes.
So
Bingo. Yeah, too late. You supplied it. We're doing it.
Proctology Academy. Oh
What?
wait, nope.
You what, mate?
No.
Nope,
Wrong one?
It's wrong one. That's not it. It was called. It said Dragon Ball Z Proctology Academy. It was totally not the scene from the movie. Anyway,
I remember that.
Righto. So anyway, moving right along. Bills is all excited about trying all these new foods he's missed out on, and things of the sort. And now, meanwhile, Goku is off, you know, trying to figure out what this, you know, Super Saiyan God thing is, because so he can defeat Bills in case Bills flies off the handle. And, you know, it's just, nobody realizes what Bills is. Why Vegeta hasn't pulled, you know, Gohan, Piccolo, and all the other Z fighters aside one time and said, hey, let's not piss this guy off. Vegeta's not Nappa. He would know to do this, to warn everybody. But no, they don't do this. They should have, but they didn't.
Vegeta's
Why
pride.
didn't they?
I don't
Because
know.
of Vegeta's pride.
Yep, he's already thrown his pride away to save the world once.
Bingo!
To me, if he's gonna do that, to me, it's just not in character. You know, for him to not tell people.
B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. Please do not blow up the earth.
Yes, Roran, I saw you bring up the actual link. I will play that during our music break, which we're going to take one not too long from now. I want to get to this one little spot before we do that, though.
Bills hears about this amazing food from Huis called pudding, and he's about to go get some, which Boo has most of the pudding. Though, right when that scene happens, like, oh god, it's Boo. Oh no.
Oh, this isn't gonna. Oh, this is just gonna end great.
Phenomenally. Boo's got a tray full of pudding, and Whis is like, hey, this dessert over here, it's called pudding. It's really smooth and sweet and delicious. Bills is like, yeah! I want me some pudding!
Yeah!
Yeah, pudding, yeah!
He's like, excuse me, could you give me one of those? I've never had it before. Whis is like, make that too. He's like, you don't gotta worry about him. You just give me one. It's like, wow, you're very selfish, Master Bills. And of course, this is Majin Buu we're talking about.
Yeah. Even good Boo.
Even... oh, good lord. It's like, no! My pudding! My pudding!
No!
And of course, Boo eats...
And then he starts, like, tonguing them and...
and then he, like, eats the glass jars all the pudding was in.
Because he's Boo, he could do that. And then Boo gets mad at him, saying like, don't hit that! I'm gonna turn you into cat to eat you!
And of course, the fact that Bills threatens Boo because Boo ate all the pudding. Boo threatens Bills back by threatening to turn him into something sweet and eat him. Now we're getting into the pseudo. Now we're getting into more obligatory. Look how strong Bills is fight.
Yes.
So before we go into this, you guys want to go ahead and cover the fight before we take a break? Because we're only 40 minutes into the show.
Okay,
let's
so
do it.
Pretty much everyone tries to, calm Bills down or like try to fight him off because he's picking a fight with Boo, which now everyone is friends with. And then Vegeta is just like, oh, just fuck it. It just goes all out on him, goes all the way up to Super Saiyan 2, but everybody pretty much getting smacked around by Bills.
I mean, even Mystic Gohan, which, it's been stated in the canon knowledge, Dragon Ball Daizenshu, by Toriyama himself, Mystic Gohan is the strongest unfused Z fighter. The only fighters that were stronger than him was literally Vegito. That was the only one that was stronger than him, and like one of the later forms some of the later forms of Majin Buu.
What about the Gotenks?
Gotenks, even as a Super Saiyan 3, he wasn't as strong as Gohan was. Can't
Gohan go into like Super Saiyan? Can't Gohan go like Super Saiyan 2? That's like as far as that.
He can, but like in the Buu saga, the Elder Kai unleashed all of Gohan's hidden power to the point where he could control it at will. And with at full power, the only characters that were stronger than him were Vegito, Gohan absorbed Buu, and maybe I think also perhaps Kid Buu also.
Damn.
Those were the only ones that might have been stronger than Gohan was. So
until Goku went Super Saiyan 4 in GT, but some people says it's not canon.
It's not, but if it were, then yeah, that would have been stronger. Anyway, everyone gets slapped around like they are nobodies. I mean, Bills grabs Tien's fist with a pair of chopsticks, knocks Piccolo out with the chopsticks, spanks Gotenks like a little baby.
That one was funny.
That was the best part of the movie. He was just smacking that ass.
That was actually funny. Bit Gotenks over Z, and just drops him to the ground. Then Vegeta's like, screw it! Super Saiyan 2. Launch at Bills. He gets smacked around. Everyone is like on the ground. Everyone is beaten up. No one's getting up. And then Bulma, Bulma, you are not this dumb. You've just watched all this go on. Every other time in every other episode, you know to stay back. You don't get directly involved. What
Well,
does she
I
do?
mean, she can't even remember how old she is in this movie, so I don't even think she's that smart.
She has Alzheimer's in this movie.
Yeah. Poor Bulma.
Well, I think it's kind of more like Bulma's thinking, like, hey, he was okay before. He's just acting up. He just needs to be smacked around a bit.
She slaps him and just gets slapped right back. And now we get into another full-out problem with this movie, and the one that everyone I know has pointed out. Vegeta can only go to Super Saiyan 2. Goku as a Super Saiyan 3 is stronger. Goten is stronger. Gohan is stronger. None of these guys could even touch him. Vegeta goes into like full rage mode. Even like that, he should not be able to do anything at all to Bills, so... But somehow
What's there
or another...
to say that he did?
Huh?
What's there to say that he did do anything to Bills? I mean, sure, he was able to kind of shrug off Bills counterattacked him and try to fight back, but in the end, he still got taken out.
I honestly think, I'm going to say maybe for the sake of the movie itself, that Bills thought that maybe Vegeta had hit the God form that he was looking for and just ate his attacks intentionally. That's my guess. Or maybe as Roaring Thunder says, maybe Bills was surprised because he was putting out so much more power supposedly putting out more power than everyone else, which is total bovine scatology. But, anyway. I mean, Popo eats attacks too. Oh, Lord. That scene from Dragon Ball. Yes. So, even with Vegeta going full rage mode, still doesn't do anything to Bills. Now he's like, you know what? I don't need this planet anymore. So he's just going to blow everything up.
Fuck this, I'm out.
But first he said, Whiz, we're going. And then we're going to destroy the Earth. It's like, just a minute. I'm getting some more of this delicious food.
I like Whis. Whis was amusing.
He was.
So...
Wahis.
Yes.
Wahis Navidad. Wahis Navidad.
Navidad. I want to wish you a Kamehameha.
Merry Christmas.
So yes. Now we're getting into the second half of the movie. So here we are, we're gonna take a music break. I'm gonna get some music loaded up for you guys that were from our approved artist playlist. If you guys have any requests, because these are all Brony artists that we have access to. If you guys out there have any particular requests, we're gonna get about three or four good songs in. Let's see what I want to play here. Discord, I know the one you mean, which I have. I will gladly play that. Where is my Eurobeat? Loyalty, Boyzilla, we do not have Brony. We can only play artists that have given us permission to play their music. We do not have Bronified or Acoustic Brony. We do have Eurobeat, so we will play that one for you, Roarin. Egghead, we will play you some Sweet Apple Acres. Discord, where's my Discord? There it is.
As well as Vegeta's
Yes,
bingo
it's
dance.
Vegeta's Bingo Dance. We will play that as well.
Yes. Can we?
Yeah, we can play that short clip from the movie. Let's see, there's Sweet Apple Acres.
And yes, also pudding.
We will play all of the pudding.
Delicious
Oh,
pudding.
the pudding. Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
my. Okay, I want one more song. One more. Let me...
How about Pinky's Brew?
Pinky's Brew? Okay. I'm all for some Pinky's Brew. Where's my... Let's see. Psychedelic Brony. Where are you? Oh, there it is. All right. Okay, so we got some Psychedelic Brony, some Manjo Pony, and Eurobeat Brony, as well as...
Tara Strong's Badunkadunk?
No,
Yeah,
we're not playing that song today. So, all right, we got that, and we have the Vegeta's Bingo Dance for you guys.
Dance, bingo, dance, bingo, dance.
So, you guys enjoyed the music. And we'll be back in just a little while, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Why don't you come on down to Sweet Apple Acres? Got a whole family full of tasty treat makers, and to top it all off, we're apple pie bakers. Don't be fooled by the flim flam fakers. We'll wet your whistle with sweet apple cider. We wanna be your #1 apple provider. We got everything you could ever ask for, and I bet we even got a little bit more than all the apples you could ever want at Sweet Apple Acres. Sweet Apple Acres, and all the apples you could ever want and more. could ever want at Sweet Apple Acres, Sweet Apple Acres, and all the apples you could ever want and more. No, yeah. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to keep the doctor away. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day to keep the doctor away. So I'm guessing by now you know our name, and you know we ain't green to this apple bucking game. We're well deserving of all this apple fame. Every pony who visited smiled after they came. So what you waiting for? Ain't you feeling hungry yet? There's no reason for you not to get the very best apples at our happy little farm. So why don't you visit and sample our charms with all the apples you could ever want at Sweet Apple Acres, Sweet Apple Acres, and all the apples you could ever want and more. And I said all the apples you could ever want at Sweet Apple Acres, Sweet Apple Acres, and all the apples you could ever want and more. No. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful day. Such a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to keep the doctor away. It's a beautiful day to keep the doctor away. All the apples you could ever want at Sweet Apple Acres, Sweet Apple Acres, and all the apples you could ever want and more. All the apples you could ever want at Sweet Apple. Come on, why don't you sing it with us? Come on, let's sing it. All the apples you could ever want and more. All the apples you could ever want at Sweet Apple Acres, Sweet Apple Acres, singing all the apples you could ever want and more. All the apples you could ever want at Sweet Apple Acres, Sweet Apple Acres, singing all the apples you could ever want and more. Oh, so much more. We got all the apples. All the apples.
And welcome back to Equinimation here on Radio is Magic Entertainment. Be advised, there may be some adult content here on this show. You have been warned. For those who are just now joining us, the songs you heard were Pinky's Brew by Psychedelic Brony, Sweet Apple Acres by Manzo Pony, and we closed out with one of the more popular songs of the Brony community, Discord Euro Chaos Mix featuring Odyssey by Eurobeat Brony. We are currently in the middle of our review of Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, and we're going to pick up right where we left off, where Bills just got done straight raping everybody. Straight rape.
Straight rape.
Straight
Like total dickings. I mean, you know how normally Krillin is just like completely useless by this point in the story? Well, he is just like, I don't even think he bothered to fight by this point. He just like, nah, I'm out of here. Fuck this.
Well, he's more useful than Piccolo and Tien and Yamcha.
Yeah.
Yamcha has never been useful, and that's just not
Never.
and that's not even really a joke I'm making. I mean, if you look at his character from the beginning of Dragon Ball, he's really never done anything of much use, ever.
He's the one. Yeah, poor Yamcha. He's the one no joke character, and I felt nothing when he died.
Pretty much.
Wait, he died?
No. At one point.
He's died several times. Not as many as Krillin,
Hang
but
on
he
a
has
second.
died.
My mic is breaking. Hang on a second here.
Your mic is being all buggy. Well, that's not good.
Okay,
Anyway.
okay, it's working now. We're good.
Anyway, like I said, Bills has just got done destroying everybody. Now he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna blow up the planet now because you people piss me off."
Bye.
And then Goku shows up out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey, don't blow up the planet. Not yet. I have
do it.
an idea."
An idea. Oh.
And here we go again with the.
Feels like, oh, he's got an idea. Oh, okay. I
It's
guess
like-
I won't destroy the
It's like,
planet.
so, like, you came up with the idea, so you know how to become a Super Saiyan God? No! But, give me just a little bit of time, I might be able to do it. Okay. I have a big problem with how this scene was done. Now we're getting into... Oh, gosh. Okay. And while Goku's idea was good... Why not just summon the dragon and see if he knows how to become a Super Saiyan God? Not a bad idea, but they could if they had just kind of hinted at the fact that only a god could defeat Bills. You know,
But not just any god. I mean, like, even the other gods, like King Kai and the other Kais were...
like something god.
We
of the
need a super god.
It's like, you know, how you know, say only a god could defeat him. If they had hinted at something like that because, you know, their ki is completely ineffective against him. Even Bill says that this thing that they call ki appears to be completely ineffective against gods, or like real gods. So, if they had hinted that only another god could defeat Bills, you know, they could have done something like that, but they built it up all wrong, and there was no tension, no suspense, no build-up of any kind. So, then...
It's like, hey, Shenron, do you know how to do that one plot thing that we brought up so haphazardly?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then the way they become a Super Saiyan God, it's just...
Very reminiscent of GT.
Yeah, and how,
Yeah.
you know, they helped each other power up. Like, hey, you could take all our power. Yeah, and
In fact, this will be the second time Pan has helped Goku in that way.
technically the first. It's like,
Yeah, I was about to say.
technically the first, you know, and then Videl reveals, oh, I'm pregnant. You could just totally use me, and, you know, maybe the unborn child will help with this.
I did like how they did. Yes, Broad did not exist yet. She wasn't born yet. Anyways, I did like how they did bring up one of the past movies where they introduced Vegeta's younger brother.
Yes. That's another one of those many plot points where it shows this movie is not canon. Because I know what you're talking about. It was like, Son Goku and his friends do stuff. I forget what the full title was, but... Yeah, that little bit, I forget, it's a super long title. I forget what, I can't remember the entire name, but that wasn't canon. And now they bring Tarbell back up in this movie. He's like, but he's on some, like, distant star, and I don't really know where he is. Roaring Thunder, you are wrong for that comment. Insta-cancer, baby.
I thought this movie was canon, guys.
It is not. This movie is not canon. Just because it has a place in the timeline, it could have actually happened, does not mean it's canon.
But you said it was canon. All those months ago, you said it was canon.
That's because I had not gotten to see it yet. And I didn't see all the crap that was wrong with this movie that shows me that it's not canon. For one...
Oh, please, it's spiral beam cannon.
What?
Oh, okay.
Wait, what? No, what?
Special beam cannon.
Yes.
Oh!
Okay, there's a lot of things wrong with this movie that show that it's not canon. First and foremost, it acknowledges Tarbell, the existence of Vegeta's brother Tarbell. That little movie was not canon. Therefore, this is not canon. 2. The dragon only grants one wish in this movie and then disappears.
Like usual.
The dragon grants 2 wishes by this point in the timeline.
Ah. Because Dende is more powerful and younger.
Exactly. He recreated the dragon at the end of the Cell, towards the end of the Cell Saga, to be able to grant 2 wishes and not 1. And again, I would have liked for it to have been if it would have actually been a really good movie. Anyway, getting myself off topic here again. So they figure out how to for Goku to become a Super Saiyan God, and they do the whole process, and ultimately, now we get into some more of the bad CGI I mentioned earlier. Goku and Bills duke it out.
Oh, hold on. First, I want to talk about the look of this Super Saiyan God.
Yeah. It's normal Goku with red hair, red eyes, and he has less muscular definition.
It's kind of reminiscent of a combination of his Super Saiyan 4 form with the red hair, kind of reminiscent to the red fur of that form, as well as with his God, what? It's been so long.
Kaioken, yeah.
Yeah, very also reminiscent of his Kaioken abilities. The less muscle, not sure what they were going for with that one.
I don't know either. All I know is before the movie came out, there were images circulating all over the internet of this Super Saiyan God form, and it looked like all the images that were seen were of like Goku looking like he was Super Saiyan 4, but with gold fur.
That would have been cool. Wait, so like when he and Vegeta fused in their Super Saiyan 4 forms?
Yeah, it looked like that, but I mean, all the fur was gold. The hair was still gold. Honestly, and I was pumped. That looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
But then we get this in the movie. It's like...
I know that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are very well known for their unassuming, like, transformations or forms. Like, even though, like, as a kid, like, seeing Goku going into Super Saiyan for the first time was so exhilarating, when you really think about it nowadays, his hair is just turning gold and spiky.
Earth.
But it's still awesome, but, you know.
Mm-hmm. This is very true. And usually the ones who look like they would, who doesn't look like they could just beat up anybody, those are the ones that usually aren't as powerful as everyone else. So, Goku is now supposedly a god because of, some ancient Saiyan legend that was put down by all the Saiyans because they didn't want to acknowledge the existence of a good Saiyan.
Though, really, it looks like a proto Super Saiyan 4.
And totally just, like, I'm calling BS on that legend. Like, no. So,
yes, because all Saiyans have always been bad.
Pretty much. Anyway, now
I still don't believe that a whole society, that there wasn't anyone besides Goku that turned out good. And yes, Goku did lose his memory in Dragon Ball and then became good after the fact.
Human, yeah. But so now we get into the fight that this whole movie has been leading up to, and we finally have Super Saiyan God Goku versus Bills. And the bad CGI that was mentioned earlier, this is where it really starts to shine. or defecate all over the movie, so to speak. They do, and I don't really have a whole lot to say about the fight itself, except that there was way too much talking going on, even more so than in a normal Dragon Ball Z fight. Most of it was just them standing there, talking, while crap was exploding around them or falling around them, to show how fast they were actually moving.
Yeah. It seems like this movie was made by a, not a well-known animation studio. In fact, what studio did this one?
This was Toei Animation.
This was?
I just realized...
Yeah.
This is Toei?
Yep.
Toei, what the hell, man?
It's like they gave the job to they gave the fight scene to their D-level animators for some reason. That's what it looks like.
Are you kidding me?
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
This is Dragon Balls, man. This is the Dragon Balls. They had the Colonel dressing up as Goku and everything. What? This is like some AA plus stuff, titles going on, and you just hand this to your D level, your B budget team. What is this?
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
I mean, it's like Atlas with SMT4. I mean, they just handed that to their thing. Their B budget studio team.
I like Shin Megami Tyson 4.
It was actually Tyson.
Shin Megami Tyson? Tensei?
Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah, it was actually very good, but they were focusing on Persona 5. And I thought it was really lackluster, even though it was really good. But I'm getting off topic here.
Yes,
I like that game.
Yeah, we have overall to me a very lackluster fight. It just had no build up to it. The fight itself really wasn't all that entertaining.
No tension, no real the real thing is though that there wasn't really motivation for the audience. It's like, yes, we totally want to Goku fighting Frieza. There was maybe a bit too much build-up, but still, there was a lot of build-up to the fight, this son of a bitch killed Krillin.
You killed Krillin! You bastards!
Not only that, but, killing an entire race. They build up the villain of Frieza, which is why Frieza is the most popular of the DBZ villains.
I mean...
Not for everybody, but I'm saying overall.
I know. And besides, all they're really good. They're major villains. Even in the movies, before they go into the final fight, they have, for the most part, they build them up.
Yeah.
Fairly
Cooler,
well
holy shit.
Yeah,
Cooler was a good one.
Yeah, I loved Cooler. I don't think he got anywhere near enough credit. I think that final fight should have been way longer.
Yeah, I liked Frieza, but I thought his brother was cooler.
No, wait. No, I don't know. I think his father kind of left me in the cold.
I don't get it.
King Cold.
Ice puns.
Two ice puns.
Yeah, but again, they didn't build up the fight the way they should have. It could have been much more intense, and I get that they wanted to make Bills not just downright evil, but because of the way which would have been fine if they would have built up the fight better. Because ultimately, yes, we know Bills says he's going to blow up the planet if Goku is not stronger than him. That's what he's threatening. So there's motivation for Goku to try and outshine, and maybe not necessarily actually beat him, but to show that he is stronger. But me, as a hardcore fan of the series, I'm not very well invested. In fact, I'm literally sitting here watching. It's okay, when is this finally gonna end? Because this actually is one of the longest movies out of all 14 of them. Most of them didn't even last an hour.
This was 80 minutes, and like I think the last one before this was only 50, like in length.
Yeah, most of them are about 45 to 50 minutes in length. But Boyzilla, that's good job.
What do you say? What do you say?
I'ma blow up the planet. Frieza, I'ma blow up your planet. So, I'ma blow up your planet. Boo, I'm not gonna turn you to chocolate.
Yes. And so many. Why is blowing up the planet such a big trope for all the villains? Anyway, again, we get a pretty lackluster fight. And I'm not, honestly, if you want to watch the fight, by all means, it just didn't turn out very interesting to me. When you talk about a Dragon Ball Z fight, there's really not, unless you have one singular moment that is just, oh my god, epic. Like
Goku slapping Frieza in the Frieza fight.
Or Vegeta's final flash against Cell. The instant transmission Kamehameha wave during the Cell fight. Unless you just have one single moment that is OMG epic, there's really not a lot to talk about when it comes to fights. And this one doesn't have any... This one just doesn't have any moments like that in it.
It does steal a moment when, at the very end, Bill summons up a big planet-sized bomb, just like Frieza was gonna do. Bigger than Frieza's, but still.
Yeah.
This thing was like a fucking giant fireball, too.
This thing was the moon from Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Yes. And Goku somehow cancels it out, and despite Bill saying Goku was not as strong as he is, he ultimately decides not to blow up the planet. And then there's, the way they chose to end the movie. It's like, hey, so I blow up a rock, so I blow up a very small Earth. So when you guys have another party, be sure to invite me. I'm gonna go now.
Bye.
Oh, by the way, and whenever this movie was released, there began to be rumors circulating that there was going to be another Dragon Ball Z series.
Yes, I heard something about that. I was looking up some things about this. Apparently, that there was talk about another Dragon Ball Z series. Though in this one, it was about a kid who gets transported into a Dragon Ball Z arcade game and fights alongside Goku and everyone else.
You're talking about Dragon Ball Hoshi. What that is, those were just animated advertisements for an online game. For a Dragon Ball
that
online
sounds
game.
Like cancer. That kind of sounds cancerous.
But I'm actually talking about something that follows along the story of this particular movie. And there's a couple... I have my own theory that kind of debunks that. And the reason being is because of one of the last lines of the movie, while they're still floating in space, when Bill says, you're actually the second strongest person I've ever fought. And Goku's like, wait. There's someone else out there you fought that was stronger than I am as a god. And Bill says that there are 12 different universes, each with its own god of destruction. He said, this is the 7th universe wherein I am the 7th god of destruction. There is one other god I have faced that is stronger than you. And this is where we find out Bill's caretaker is actually the strongest god of destruction.
What? Really?
Yep.
That was that?
That's what that was over.
I thought he was just like a random caretaker. He's another god of destruction.
Essentially.
Yeah, he's literally...
You want might?
He is the strongest of the god of destruction. And now, people use this to speculate that there was going to be another Dragon Ball Z series where Goku would have to face off against all the other gods of destruction. But the fact of the matter is, if you examine the scene closely, out of those three, you have the 3 strongest people in the universe right there. Goku is number 3, Bill's is number 2, Whis is the strongest of all of them. There was...
Whis.
H.
The H is not silent.
In fact, you pronounce it before the W.
Whis.
But, yes, and people speculated that there's going to be another DBZ series, but I'm honestly hoping there's not. Because if Akira Toriyama was directly involved with this and helped with a lot of the writing, I think this pretty much shows that as great as the series, Dragon Ball Z series itself was, it's pretty much at the end of its rope. There's really not much more that could be done with it. I mean,
It really is time for DBZ to finally, it's got a long career. Like that ending credit sequence with like them paging through all the manga from Dragon Ball all the way through Dragon Ball Z was just to show how long this series has gone. And even with like a GT and everything,
yeah,
it's time to hang up the key belt, if you know what I mean.
Now, I will say, when we go into the ending credit segments was pretty cool. I liked what they did there with the manga. When it was pipping through the pages of the manga, I thought that was a pretty cool little segment. And a nice way to end it. I'm glad Toriyama gave it one last attempt, but this one, after waiting so long for another one that was supposedly supposed to be canon to the original from all the rumors that were circulating, but ultimately wasn't. This movie at the end I don't hate this movie by any means, because it did have some entertaining moments. There are better DBZ movies you could watch. And
Really now? What was your favorite, Vegeta?
my favorite movies were the first three ones put together. The Dead Zone, The World's Strongest, and The Tree of Might. Those are my three favorite ones. It's back to back with my... As I said, this is not my most hated movie.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We do have a few minutes. My most hated of all the Dragon Ball Z movies was Lord Slug. Oh my god, this movie had no redeeming values whatsoever.
But it was a retelling of the Piccolo saga.
It was a craptacular way of retelling the Piccolo saga from Dragon Ball.
But my nostalgia.
Screw your nostalgia with a spatula! And then fork it out with a colander and a spork! Oh my god.
I like the cooler movies.
The cooler movies were pretty awesome. I would have liked to have seen Cooler end up stronger than what he was, because if you look at Frieza's power progression, when it hit different stages, Cooler's final form should have been OMG WTF strong. And
I know.
really wasn't. I mean...
Tonight I dine on monkey soup.
And yes, Roar and Thunder, the second Broly movie wasn't that great. Bio Broly I liked for one reason and one reason only. It actually gave a more plausible way for Broly to come back than the second movie did. Second movies be all like, I'm just gonna survive this planet explosion on a spaceship that was never actually there. Bio Broly's be all like, hey, I'm gonna clone this guy from blood that was left on his ship. That's more plausible. I can get that. But, again, neither of those two movies were really... Again, my favorites were the first three. Not dissing all the other movies, because they all had something to them I thoroughly enjoyed. I loved both Cooler movies. I loved the legendary Super Saiyan. Fusion Reborn, Wrath of the Dragon. Wrath of the Dragon I enjoyed. I didn't care as much for the villain. And BoJack Unbound was pretty awesome, too.
You know what I really liked the English dub of the Broly movie, of the original Broly movie, just out of how ridiculous they made the soundtrack. Like, if you listen to the soundtrack compared to this, they rescored it with like heavy metal and stuff,
Oh my god.
Dragon, rock the dragon,
dude,
dragon,
Broly
rock
has
the dragon.
the best transformation in the English dub for one reason and one reason only. Freaking Pantera for his transformation music. You do not
It was Pantera for his transformation music? Seriously?
Dude, no joke. It was Tens by Pantera was what they played for his transformation scene. They could not have picked a better song that was out at the time. I mean...
I'm going to have to look at this again.
Though at times, like with the BoJack Unbound movie, when I watched it myself in the English version, and it's like, it got to the point, it's like, wait, is that Linkin Park I'm hearing in the soundtrack?
Yeah.
That's when I kind of got out of the DBZ movies.
Listen, me personally, I watch everything in Japanese now, and they don't have all this music in the Japanese dub. So
Well, no, duh.
So some of the movies I actually do watch in English. Like I still watch, I still watch some of the DBZ movies. They use the game by Disturbed in the first Cooler movie, and they have all that awesome heavy metal in the legendary Super Saiyan. Those two movies I tend to watch in English every so often because the soundtracks are just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was a little bit ridiculous just how it was like new metal and like hardcore techno for the first Broly movie. You should have heard it. Oh man, we should probably find the sound. We should probably link the soundtrack.
Finding I know where to find Broly's Super Saiyan transformation. I got it saved to my favorites on my YouTube channel. Well, not on my YouTube channel. I got it saved to my favorites. But
Anyways, overall thoughts of the Battle of Gods movies. Spider, go.
I thought it captured the general feel of the series pretty well. I know that was kind of a complaint with a lot of other people that it didn't, but I thought it captured this general
Your mic is dying.
feels of the series really well. I thought it can you hear me now?
kind
Yeah.
of.
Guys, hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. You got me?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got you. We can hear you
Okay.
now.
I thought it captured the feels of the series pretty good. Like the general feel of the series. I know that was sort of an issue with a few other people. Like, I know that was sort of a common complaint. I thumbed through a lot of the comments of this, and like that was a common complaint that it felt not as dark, and but it really was considerably more lighthearted than like it was good. It was good. I liked it, and it captured the feels well. Even though the fights were lackluster and the whole thing, it was pretty silly, and it had some pacing issues. I thought it was good, very good. Not very
As a
good, but good.
DBZ, for me personally, as a DBZ movie, ever since after Dragon Ball Z, I don't know if Akira Toriyama had anything to do with GT, but it always seems like everything since Dragon Ball Z ended, he's always been trying to go back to Dragon Ball roots of kind of more slapstick gag comedy, which is what he started out with originally with his manga of Dr. Slump. He became known as the Emperor of Gag before Dragon Ball hit the scene, and all of a sudden he became the most widely regarded mangaka of the martial arts genre. But since then, this movie is definitely trying to tap back into those gag-like roots. This is more of a comedy movie than of an action movie, like some of the other Dragon Ball Z movies or specials or OVAs that people have seen. And for that, I can respect it for a good effort at trying it. Some of the jokes worked. Others kind of fell a little bit flat, though I did giggle at the whole bingo dance scene. But yeah, this is not...
Bingo dance.
This is not an action movie. This is a comedy. And that's what I stick with for this Battle of the Gods. Also, I liked how out of all the villains, this is the first time where a DBZ villain that I can actually not really sympathize with, but kind of like a little bit better. I liked how they didn't go for the overly evil or anything like that. It's like, he's just a god, and for half the movie, it's more or less the character is trying to appease him and not call upon his wrath.
Yes. I can respect your
Yep.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My final thoughts on the movie.
Yeah. Yes.
I I do see what you're talking about, MangaMan, about how he's constantly trying to go back to the Dragon Ball roots. It doesn't really work here for me. The movie wasn't a complete bore. It did have its entertaining moments. The problem for me was the movie was advertised as, the big Dragon Ball Z movie we've been waiting for, ever since the last movie had hit the scene more than well over a decade ago, well before GT had ever come out. And it was built up like it was going to be a big action movie, and it wasn't. So all in all, while it wasn't terrible, this movie did not hit home with me. So this movie just doesn't get my seal of approval. I mean,
this movie gets my sympathies.
I can agree with that. Now
you tried.
I wanted so badly to like this movie, to really like this movie. I really wanted it to be great, considering how long we have been waiting for something new and fresh in the Dragon Ball franchise. Especially after, GT was such a failed attempt. I loved a lot of the ideas they went for, they just didn't execute them well. But,
Did you try watching GT in the Japanese?
Yes, I did.
Is the music more, lighthearted and uplifting? Because overall, I think that was the major complaint I had, was that
It was even more so than the original Dragon Ball music.
Oh, really?
But honestly, I can send you some links later during the Gogeta fight at the end of GT, and the music just... It doesn't fit very well. There's a lot of scenes where very rarely it just doesn't work for me. I mean, I didn't hate GT. I loved a lot of the ideas they tried to go for. It just like this, it doesn't hit the mark. There were some good ideas, just not properly executed.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that execution is really what's gotta hit home. You can have good ideas all day, but if you don't execute them properly, it's not gonna work. So,
you know what this movie reminds me of?
What's
this
that?
movie? It's another case of a manga's creator coming in to help do a movie. This reminds me of the Lupin the Third movie special or whatever, where Monkey Punch came in to help out. The thing is, Monkey Punch isn't really an anime director. He has no idea what to do. So I can't remember the name of the movie. I'll link it to the page later. He basically made the beginning and the end of the movie. And he had okay, that's all I can really think of. You do whatever you can with this. Sorry, guys. And so they kind of went with it. In a totally batshit crazy and nonsensical way. It's it opens up with a car chase scene. And then the middle slowly divulged into this, foreign country's plot of a murdered prince and, trying to get into this gold, but there's guarded by these nanomachines that create weapons out of the walls. And then they find out, the Tsar that was, controlling everything was also a nanomachine. And he goes all berserk, and it's a really strange Lupin the Third movie. Even in terms of Lupin the Third, it is one of the worst, sadly to say.
Yes. Well, certainly there's a lot of strange things going on nowadays. Well, everyone, that has been our show for the evening.
And isn't it also our show for the year?
No, not quite.
Oh, alright then, geez.
Everybody, tune in to My Little Breakdown tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, where our crew of breakdowners, if that's what, I know, that's a terrible word. Anyway, our crew of people that break down the episodes
Demolition Crew
are going to take a look at the Season 4 premiere of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Do tune in tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to catch that. Tune into our shows the rest of the week. Our next Equinimation will be on December 16th at 7 p.m. CST. All All Equinimation is at 7 p.m. All our other shows are at 6, but this one is at 7. Catch us again on December 16th. We will be looking at Tokyo Godfathers.
The greatest anime Christmas movie of all time.
Exactly. We'll be taking a look at that, breaking that down for you. Tune in next Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time and check out The Flying Dutchman, my other Monday show, where we're going to be taking a look at some video game works. So,
Video games.
yeah.
Are we gonna do that whole Princess Celestia thing?
No, we're not really going to worry about that.
Nah.
Yeah, okay.
Dear great Super Saiyan God. Today I learned that franchises need to run its course before evidently needing to either take a break from themselves or to finally hang up their hats. Yours truly.
Unless your name is... No, go on.
Yours truly, MangaMan. Yes, your faithful
was
student, Goku. Wait a minute, but if it's Goku, does that mean he's praying to himself?
Dear me.
Oh, Kamikai.
Oh, Kamikai. Oh, come on, I can't be the only one to do this.
Yeah, you're kind of going to be the only one. Because...
I'm not doing it because
Yeah.
I'm so tired and I gotta
You
take a
believe
dump.
in the one and true Super Saiyan God?